Yeah, mate, 45-point loss. Probably fair to say most of that damage was done in the third quarter.
Yeah, definitely. I think their class and their composure in the second half, they outplayed us after half time, so it's really big credit to them. I mean, their setup behind the ball was really good, and every time we try and get inside 50, they were able to mop it up and go out the other way and get some nice clean inside ball to their forward. So, yeah, I mean, our boys had a real crack. And today we had another 10 teenagers out there, and I think they had 3 or 4. So I just said to our guys after the game that, in 2 or 3 years' time, when you're stronger and you've had more experience, you'll be better in those situations. But Glenorchy are a very good side.
You must have been super pleased that first half, especially I think in that second term. It was pretty a tight contested term, and you're able to just keep in the game and fight your way through it. Yeah,
it's sort of, we had all the momentum just before half time, and then they got that, one of our boys got holding the ball. So that Daly, I think, ended up swooping on and putting them, I think, 10 points clear at half time. It sort of sapped a bit of our momentum. But as I said, after half time, they were just clearly the superior side.
I thought your leaders were pretty good again today, especially Sam Daly. Took a lot of the footy, and he brought his teammates into the game a fair bit.
Yeah, he's a very good player, Sam. Obviously played 20 of our AFL games. He would have had over 40 touches again today. So, the leaders have been really good the last 5 or 6 weeks. So I just hope the young guys take a leaf out of their book and aspire to be as good as our leaders are at the moment.
Obviously a pretty important day, mate, for the footy club with Hugh Williams and Ollie Divinetto both getting life membership. Can you speak about their roles with this young group? Yeah, I mean, Huey's obviously been the captain now for 5 or 6 years, and I think his leadership has really grown in the last 2 or 3 years. But also I think the way he's playing his footy at the moment, he's probably definitely in the last 4 years when I've had something to do with him, I reckon he's in as good a form as he's ever been in. So, he just loves the club. He's a very humble man, works really hard, sets the example, not just on the field but off the field. He's a model citizen. And Ollie the same. Like, I had a chat to Ollie just after the season started and asked, what motivation is there for you to be back playing? And he said, I just want to help teach the kids. And as a coach, it was great to hear that, because we do need on-field leadership. These kids have played, 10, 12 senior games of footy, and Ollie's obviously, 10 to 15 or 15 years of senior footy, so it's invaluable him being out there directing them, and he's out there for the right reasons. And it takes a bit of courage for him to come back at his age when obviously he knows his body's not as good as it was when he was a lot younger. So I just think, they're both credits to their family. They both love the footy club, and I'm so proud that they're life members of our great club. Yeah, any celebrations tonight for the boys, obviously, to honour the way they go about it? Yeah, so we had a presentation in the room. They got presented with a framed jumper and a couple of photos. So with our 6-day break, it's just a little bit hard to have too big a night for them, but there's definitely a lot of past players downstairs that, the boys will really be celebrated next Saturday night. Obviously a 6-day break, you just got to be a bit careful, but it's also great to see so many former players and teammates of the boys downstairs. Yeah, fair to, I guess you haven't got the win this year, but it's fair to say probably from the outside looking in, it looks like you guys are playing a lot better footy this year than you were this time last year. Does that just come with obviously throwing in guys like Darley and Charlton and Garland, but obviously that 12 months of improvement in these young kids? I think it's a combination of both things. Like, obviously there's quality players around them, but also the guys have had 12 months to experience how tough this competition is, and because it's a very good competition, and if you're off your game a little bit, you can get found out. But I mean, I think last year when we played Glenorchy in August, I think they beat us by 160 points. So we are fully aware we have a lot of work to do, but the guys are willing to keep working hard. And you've got to think, it was only 8 months ago we had a team of basically 14, 15 teenagers playing. So just got to make sure we work really hard on player retention and keep creating an environment they enjoy turning up to. Yeah, it feels like you're in every game, especially considering the young list. It feels like the guys just have so much fight and determination, I guess, to make the fans turn up every week just to see them play some really determined football. Yeah, I just hope the fans will be patient, because the boys work exceptionally hard since basically we didn't have too much time off last year, so the boys are fully committed to making themselves bigger and stronger and fitter and learning more about the game, and they've just got to keep making sure they do those things to give themselves an opportunities to
be good senior players, because you look at a club like Lauderdale, early 2010, 2011, they had all the Boskets and the Walsh and the likes, and now after plenty of games and experience, they're exceptional players. So I'm hoping that we have the Bailey Walkers and the Finn Pokes, Joshy Cleaver, Brad Young. We want to see them achieve something like Ollie and Hugh have done today and becoming life members of the club.
Yeah, looked like he got through with a clean bit of Hells bar Cole. Did Cole come off late in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think he hurt his hamstring, so in the box I feared the worst in terms of his knee. So so I think there's a few sore bodies though, so we'll have to carefully manage them this week. So, but the Devils boys become available, so be looking forward to seeing some of them filter back through our side.
Obviously important to get those guys back for Lauderdale next week. Do you take much confidence out of that round one game where you were right in it, probably until midway through that last quarter?
Yeah, Lauderdale, they're a very good side as well. We actually, last year when we played down there, we weren't too bad. So, as I said to them after the game, it's about how much pressure and heat you can bring for the entire 4 quarters. So we have to go down there with that mindset next week or on Saturday, and just making sure we prepare well and crack in and give a good account of ourselves.
You feel like a win's not too far away, mate?
I think I'm like all the players, mate. I'd love to have a win on the board now, but as Ollie said after the game, we're not that far away. So just make sure we keep sticking together, and it will get there eventually.
PK, mate, 45-point winners in the end. Fair to say that third quarter was where most of the damage was done.
Yeah, well, we converted a bit better that quarter, didn't we? I thought we played pretty good footy most of the day. Dropped away a little bit in the second quarter just from how we wanted to play. But had we kicked straight in that quarter, we certainly could have done some damage. But just pleasing, obviously they were very good last week against North Launceston, so we were prepared for 4 pretty tough quarters of footy, and we just stuck at what we wanted to do, and gradually pulled away, and it was a pretty impressive performance because it's not the same really young North Hobart team as last year. They've got quite a few more experienced bodies and experienced heads, so very pleased to have a win like that.
That obviously gives you a few more headaches during the week to kind of look at guys like Cole Garland and Sam Daly and kind of figure out matchups, whereas probably last year you probably might not have had that decision to make. Yeah,
it's not just those guys as well. Like Charlton, he's a really good player. McCulloch in under's a good player. They've Yates down back. They've got some quality in there and some good kids as well. So it's good. I mean, it's good for the competition. To be honest, last year against North Hobart, it was an easier day, an easier week, I suppose, and that's not good for anybody. So it's great to see them really improving on the improve, and they'll challenge some teams. It was good to hear that Cole hasn't done his knee again. It was just a hamstring, so he'll be back, and so we're pleased with the win.
I thought they really tested you in that second quarter, probably at maybe the 15-20 minute mark. It was really looked like a real slugfest out there. As you in the coach's box, I guess, did you feel that way?
Yeah, well, we dominated possession and territory in that quarter, and I think from memory in the quarter we kicked 2 goals, 8 and 2 on the full, and then they went the other end and kicked 1.
Yeah.
And so we just gave them enough encouragement to stay in the game, and they capitalised when they went forward. They kicked a couple as well. So I guess we got to half time, and but we sort of looked at it, and what we're doing is working. We've just got to stick at it until the point where we start converting, and we'll be able to pull away, and the guys did a good job.
Cow Daly's pretty small in stature, mate, but his I guess presence around the ground continues to rise week in and week out. He kicked 4 today.
Yeah, he was super, and probably could have kicked some more as well. He's a very good player, not just he does some pretty impressive things, but very disciplined, very hard at the footy, really switched on to his defensive pressure. So we like having him a part of our team. I know one of the old timers at Glenorchy compared him to Danny Ling with the way he goes about it, and that's about as high a comparison as you can get.
I see a guy, I guess, that gets others. I guess guys see him, and his attack on the footy. Do his teammates really get around him and things like that? Does he drag others into the game?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think players like him and Aidan Grace and Jay Bowden, they can do some things that just lift a team, and Tyler Bowden last week did that for us as well with a couple of great goals, and watching from behind the goals footage, you could just see the players around the ground celebrating and getting happy. So it's it's good. It's one of the fun bits about playing footy, isn't it? Seeing your teammates do some really impressive things.
I thought Zach Webster was very, very good today in his first senior game back. Was he playing more of a roll off half back and across the back line today? Or?
Yeah, we gave him a role to sweep a little bit today, and he did it very well. He used the ball well. Since he's come back, he had 3 games in development. We've thrown him around in different roles, as we do with a number of our guys. I think it's good. I know, like, Jake Bowden really enjoys the fact that he has different roles regularly, different challenges each week, and so we're lucky to have some players like that, and just really pleased with the job Zach did this week. And Harrison Gunther did an outstanding job on Garland, but certainly Zach gave him some really good help with that as well.
There was probably 2. I think there was 2 instances in that third quarter where I think Harrison was one-on-one with Cole, and then Zach dropped back in the hole twice. As a coach, it's really pleasing to see that Zach's got that courage and the will for his team to drop back in the hole, even when he knows there's blokes coming at him. Yeah, I mean, we know how good he is, how hard he is at the footy, all those sorts of things. He's a great player. It's just about get him on the park and keep him fit, and he's been great. He's had 5 weeks build up to this game, 3 weeks in development. He's gone about it really well. Looks like he's pretty happy to be back running around with all his mates.
Yeah, he is, and he's another one who just energises the group. It's as we're planning for the centennial year, we were sort of doing a visioning session, and what we stood for, what we wanted the season to be, and I just said, hands up if you're from the northern suburbs of Hobart, and pretty much the whole room put their hands up. We've got a few from up Ulverston way as well, and but it's there's blokes who have grown up together, grown up playing footy together, good mates. I'm sort of lucky to be at a club where we've got a really good culture, and coaches have invested in our own talent, not so much bringing outside talent in. Here or there you pick up a good player, but I'm very happy to continue that tradition of really investing in young guys. Like Adam Roberts was really good today. Aaron Brennan did a good job. Harrison Gunther, is another one in that example, and Chris McKnight. There's a lot of guys coming through, and I think that's what our club's about. I think it's really important that we are representing the northern suburbs.
Yeah, Chris came off injured late. Is that correct, mate?
He did. He got a knock on the shoulder.
Yeah.
At this stage, we'll just wait on the assessment during the week. Touch wood, it's not too bad. It was just pretty painful at the time.
He's a guy that's probably played a lot of development league last year, and he's come to the senior side and he's really slotted in pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, he's done well. I mean, last year we sort of, we had a couple of defenders who were out, so we didn't get Tim Butterworth or Matt Dilger back really at all for the season, and so there was some spots there in defence, and Jack Stevenson got injured as the year went on. Brady Quinn got injured, so all of a sudden we were searching around for small defenders, and he was really good. He came into me one week, and we'd been impressed with him in development league, but he was like, right, I want to watch, and we watched the game with the development guys from behind the goals, and he watched, he said, geez, I'm lazy, aren't I? And the next week he doubled his work rate, and so he came up pretty quick and did the job and played well in the final. So he's a guy that the blokes love playing with because he just puts his body on the line.
Another one of the back, mate, Josh Arnold, didn't quite get up today. Is he a chance next week, or still a bit of a dominant?
Yeah, I think so. He was a chance for this week, but at the end of the day, this early in the season, there's no reason to risk blokes. So had it been a final, I'm pretty sure he would have played. But he should be back next week.
Big game against Launceston at home, mate.
Yeah, look, they're playing all right. We had a pretty tough game against them round one. They were good yesterday against Lauderdale. So, there's a bit of talk about there that there's only 3 teams in it, but I don't buy that talk. I think Launceston, they're a team. They're a little bit of a benchmark in a way, like the way they went from a lower club and a budget club, but they set up their team, their club, so their under-18s and development win the premiership last year. It's really impressive what they'd done, and Sam Lonigan and his guys had obviously done a really good job, and the people off the field as well, to get to that point. And now you can see like Thorpe's doing a great job of promoting those guys out of that development league team and investing in them, and they're improving as it goes on. They're just going to get better and better, and Yeah, so it's going to be a challenge, and we look forward to it. I mean, it's, as I said, it's great to have 7 teams in this competition where you got to turn up and play if you want to win.
Yeah, obviously you just spoke about, I guess, a bit of outside noise about it. It's a 3-team comp, but as you said, it's obviously a fairly even comp compared to last year when you got teams like Tigers and North Hobart that did make the finals, but continue to improve week in and week out.
Yeah, the key to this comp is you've got to be consistent,
Yeah.
and you'd seen it this year. Results have been up and down. Our guys have been pretty good. We had a half against North Lonnie where we were well off the mark. For the rest of it, in terms of our contested work and our defensive work, has been really good. And when you get those building blocks right, you give yourself a chance.
Pretty eager to, I guess, to go up against North Lonnie in a few weeks' time.
Nah. I mean, I'm not thinking about that at all.
Yeah.
You just can't afford to. You know, like Launceston this week, we've got 2 games and then the double bye, 2 games on 6-day breaks. So it's a big challenge, and we don't underestimate Launceston at all. We've got to get everything right with our recovery. You know, it's going to be a challenging game, and we need to turn up and play close to our best footy to make sure we don't, waste some of the work we've done already.
Speak of that double bye, is that something that you guys prepare for a few weeks in advance in the way you go about training and recovery and things like that? Or?
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, we can't really because we have 2 6-day breaks leading into it.
Yeah.
So we have to be light those 2 weeks. But, we'll just deal with it. I think it's good in a way for semi-professional footballers. We'll give them a week off and just tell them to go away, refresh, do what they need to do. I know a number of guys have booked holidays. I've booked a holiday. And yes, that's going to be good, and then we'll roll back into it and get ready from there.
Quarter away through the season now, mate. It's obviously shaping up to be a ripper end to the season, and obviously, as you said, the competition's looking really good at this point of the year.
Yeah, it is. It's a challenge, and it's a good competition. It's one where there's a lot of talk recently about the VFL Devils coming in a couple of years, and there's a lot of things I don't know much about, but I know a lot about the VFL, having spent many years in there. And if we want the Devils to be successful in the VFL, there needs to be a strong state league underneath it. So you can't have players playing against the Hobart Tigers one week and the Richmond Tigers the next week. It just doesn't work. Whereas we have a really good competition here that's a great stepping stone into the VFL, and Ben Brown and Robbie Fox, Jay Lockhart, Brodie Myercheck, they've all shown that it's a good stepping stone, this competition into the VFL, and along with a number of other guys like Nick Dodge and blokes like that. So this competition's really important for Tassie footy. We've got a chance to do something really good in terms of the Devils in the VFL, like the original group did for a number of years there, but we've got to make sure that the people making decisions have done the research and know what's needed to make it successful.